What's up, everybody? So this is episode 3 of 5 Minute Finance. If you are looking to invest, there is the long question of whether or not you invest in real estate or the stock market. So in this episode, I am going to break down the pros and cons to investing in each the real estate market and the stock market. So let's start with the pros of the real estate market. In my opinion, one of the biggest pros of investing in the real estate market is that you actually get a physical, hard asset. Another thing I love is you get cash flow from rent, but you also get appreciation when home prices increase. And if you do it right, I believe real estate is actually a really low risk investment, because if an economy goes down, then demand for rentals is going to go up because people will not have the money to go and buy a house. And if the economy goes up, then your house is appreciating. So you can always have a renter that's going to cash flow, even if your house is going down in price in a down market. But then when the market is going up, then your house is appreciating. And another big pro of the real estate market is you can leverage your money. So when you go and buy a house, you put 20% down, and then you can leverage the rest by borrowing money from the bank. All right, so let's jump into pros of the stock market. One of the biggest pros of the stock market, in my opinion, is there is a low barrier to entry. What I mean by that is you don't have to have a lot to be able to jump in. You can actually just start with like $10 and go buy stock. And you can even buy fractional shares on a lot of stock trading platforms. Two of the platforms I use are Robinhood and WeBull, and you can get a free stock by signing up on both of those. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video. Another big pro of the stock market is the money that you invest in the stock market is really liquid. It's really easy to just go and sell your stock and be able to get your cash back. All right, now let's jump into the cons of both the real estate and the stock market, and start with real estate. So one of the cons, in my opinion, is the barriers to entry. It's kind of the opposite of the pro in the stock market. It takes a pretty significant amount of capital to start investing in the real estate market. And that's because you have to have 20% down on a house to be able to avoid mortgage insurance. And another con to the real estate market is if you ever did want to pull your capital out, it is not as liquid. You can't just press a button on your phone and sell your house that day and get the cash. It is going to take a while to sell your house, and then it's going to take a while for that house sell to close and for you to get the cash back. So it is not as liquid as the stock market. All right, a few of the cons of the stock market when in comparison to the real estate market is I think the stock market lacks cash flow. When you have a real estate, you'll be able to have rent and be able to have cash flow every single month. Now you can have that in the stock market with dividend stocks, but I would dare say that your cash flow is going to be a lot less than it would be if you invested in real estate. But typically you do not have monthly cash flow from investing in the stock market unless you are buying and selling often. But if you are buying and selling often, another con to that is you are going to be charged capital gains tax on the appreciation of that stock. With real estate, if you hold it for a long time, you aren't going to be taxed until you ultimately sell that house. Now with stocks, if you're using it for cash flow and you're buying and selling, then you are going to be taxed on the appreciation of that stock every single time you sell. So like most things in life, there is not just like a one answer. I personally love real estate, and I love it because of the great pros that are in there. I love the cash flow. I love the fact that my house is appreciating. I love the low risk nature of it in the way that I am doing it. But when you do it, you need to make sure that you're not over leveraged, that you're being smart, that you're buying in a market that is going to have rental demand. And obviously the real estate market isn't where I put all of my money. It's where I put the majority of my money, but I still do invest in stocks because it's good to diversify and make sure that you are spreading out your risk. If your goal is to eventually end up in real estate, don't just let your money sit stagnant until you have enough money to go and do a down payment. I would suggest investing in stocks. You can get those free platforms like Robinhood or WeBull, and be able to have your money work for you and build more money up until you can afford to have a down payment on a house. I hope this video helps in deciding whether or not you want to invest in real estate or the stock market, or how you'd like your asset mix to be. Please, if you have not yet, consider subscribing. We'll catch you guys next time.